legendary Super Saiyan, Son Goku!
Alright, we are back with another top 10 unit list. Yes, I do know I've been postponing the LF Ultra tier list. Maybe I might do that later this month, maybe next month. I don't know, guarantee. But regardless, I've been having fun doing these top 10 lists anyways. I have the list pretty much thought out in my head and stuff. I'm also going to be somewhat going along with just the flow, I guess, throughout this video. But I think I have the list thought out, and I think this will definitely be an interesting one for sure. Obviously, in terms of the main change to this list, it is, of course, going to be with the addition of this unit right here. Of course, the Z Duo Boo Bros, LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, whatever you want to refer to them as. So we're gonna be ranking this in this list today and see exactly where they place. So definitely stay tuned for that. And again, I just want to remind y'all, this is my personal opinionated list. You don't have to agree with it. That's completely fine. You can feel free to disagree. You can feel free to agree if you want. That's completely fine. Again, this is my opinion based off of my experiences in the game and all of that. So there is that. But anyways, I guess let's start off with the honorable mentions, which is of course what HM stands for. So in terms of some honorable mentions, I'm not going to be ranking the honorable mentions in order because I just can't be bothered really at all, to be honest. But honorable mentions, I'm going to be putting LF Android 17 in honorable mentions. I think I'm going to put who else? I think I'm going to put Trunks and Cell. I think they're worthy of honorable mentions. I think Pan is also in there too. Roshi, I guess, and at that point Future Gohan, I think. Does Jiren? I think Jiren's a bit lower than honorable mention. I mean, I could put him, I don't know. Regardless, I think some of these characters are honorable mention worthy. I think 17, I don't know if he's top 10 worthy, at least for me right now, just because of the fact that Universe Reps is just not in the absolute best spot right now. With Ultra Rose in the meta, he heavily counters 17, and I don't really see 17 that often. When I do fight him, it's just he can't really keep up that much. Like, not to say that he's bad whatsoever. Definitely when Universe Reps gets more buffs, like let's say Anniversary is actually, we get the release of Tai Goku and Frieza and stuff finally, and then they end up being really good and a really good buff for Universe Reps. Then at that point, 17 should have a lot more value. At that point, it'll be, you know, back up into the top 10 hopefully. But for now, I think he is quite, you know, he's off of the top 10 for now, but he's close to being into it. You can maybe still argue him. It's just for me personally, again, I also don't have the character, so I can't really like mention much about him. But from what I've seen and stuff, he seems all right. But you know, he can definitely still hold his own to an extent. But he also can struggle a little bit in this meta with Ultra Rose being like so common in the meta basically. So there's that. So I don't know, 17 I think is honorable mentions. The new Trunks and Cell are both very, very good. Cell, I've been seeing cases of being potentially even the best 1% sparking in the game. I'm not 100% sure yet. I haven't used them that much, and also I don't have a higher star, so I can't really give up the absolute best opinion on Cell for sure. So maybe I'm not ranking him as high as, you know, maybe some other people would, but you know, I'm fine with that. Again, I just haven't used them that much, and I don't have my higher stars, so until then I won't be able to rank him the absolute best. But for now, I think giving him a spot in the honorable mention I think is fine enough. Honestly, Pan, same thing. She still provides good support and all of that. She's definitely starting to become a little bit, to an extent, a liability, I guess, on certain teams. But then again, her support can definitely come through for sure, especially depending on what characters you pair up alongside with and all that. So there's that. Same thing with Future Gohan. Future Gohan can help provide support, provide disrupt and stuff, especially on Future and Hybrid Saiyans and all of these teams. He can definitely still be quite valuable for sure. And then I'm putting Roshi in there because also the fact that, you know, Mafuba mechanic, you definitely don't want to completely like overlook it whatsoever and stuff. And then outside of that, he's an alright unit. I'd say he can do good damage and stuff. His green card's good, but he can't really tank that well. And just, I don't know, again, Universe Reps not being the craziest, that also kind of hurts. I know you can lead us on teams, so I don't know. He is a good counter. I would say he's actually an alright counter versus Goku Vegeta, just because he can actually, if he uses the main ability and pops the Mafuba and catches him even when they're in their standby switch thing, he can seal them, and at that point you have to deal with the Transcendent Kamehameha whatsoever. So he can be a pretty decent counter in that specific situation in terms of sealing them and stuff. So it does give him a little bit extra value, but I don't think it's enough to put him top 10. But regardless, that's our honorable mentions for me as of right now. I guess, you know, let me put Ultra Super Vegito just because he is back on featured boosts. So, you know, that does help him. I still don't think it puts him back in top 10 range personally speaking, but I don't know, that's just me though. Regardless, let's finally move on to the top 10 of the list now. The number 10 list is number 10 unit, sorry. I think it's definitely gonna be a unit that I don't think many people are probably gonna be expecting, and I think this will definitely be a little bit interesting for sure for some people. But the number 10 unit on my list will be Android 17, the purple one. Yes, I'm putting him top 10, even above the LF one. I'm putting him above these other characters. Let me explain. If you have seen my video on running Goku and Vegeta on their potential best setup, I do think this guy might be the best partner, or one of the best partners with this Goku and Vegeta, because of the fact that he's a range type. He's a support type, but he's more so of a range type character. He provides extra support in terms of giving key support and swap out, giving an extra card guaranteed and stuff, which is perfect, because then at that point, you give an extra card to Goku and Vegeta. At that point, you can keep the combo going with them and stuff, which obviously, as you use cards, you build up the switch gauge, and then as you switch, you build up the unique gauge, and of course, as you build up the unique gauge, you're then able to get to the standby skill switch mode, whatever you want to call it, and at that point, you're able to potentially get off the Transcendent Kamehameha. So at that point, 17, giving him an extra card on switch out, giving him more support and stuff to not only allow him to do more damage, but also just keep the combo going and just potentially get that switch gauge built up more, and then get the unique gauge built up even more as well. You're then able to more hopefully consistently get the Transcendent Kamehameha off and eventually just wipe out the enemy's team and all this stuff. And especially them at higher stars, they can definitely put in a lot of work. And then specifically if you run them too, and then especially alongside a unit like Trunks Vegeta or Evolution Blue Vegeta, then at that point you have a God Key character, so then you can give him the new, or the more recent, like Blue Vegeta Awakened equipment that gives like extra Pure Blast when you're running alongside like a God Key battle member and stuff. And then also you're getting extra base blast attack from that equips. That equips definitely very good for them for sure, and all of that. And also, you know, they're blast based characters, so again, them being blast based, you have decent synergy with the team because they're all blast based stuff. You have to support from 17 and stuff. So I do think as of right now that might be their best setup, and it's been the setup I've been running them on quite a bit, and they've been cooking for sure. They've definitely been cooking. Even my Goku Vegeta only at 4 stars. I'm still trying to get at least one more dupe of them before the banner goes away, so there's that. But 17, I do think because of his value and stuff, and he's definitely a solid support unit for sure, and he's definitely not bad on his own. He can definitely still put in a decent bit of damage. Tanking wise, it could be okay if you have him at higher stars, and depending on the equipment setup you give him and stuff. And just, yeah, I do actually think he is top 10 worthy barely just because of his value with Goku and Vegeta. And then also even with Evolution Blue Vegeta, you would think that he wouldn't be the best with Evolution Blue Vegeta, but I think he actually is pretty good with them, just because I know he's giving him key and stuff, and I know Evolution Blue Vegeta doesn't really want key, but the extra card on swap out can help, and sometimes the key gain can be useful when you're like really low on key. So he definitely does work actually pretty well with Evolution Blue Vegeta, so there is that. Now, the number 9 spot, I am going to be putting Tag 4s, I think, in number 9. I think that, or do I put Tag 4s or, because okay, the next 2 units I'm thinking of ranking together are Tag 4s, and I think I'm gonna put Trunks and Vegeta in this range. I want to put Trunks and Vegeta above just because with Goku and Vegeta they'll synergize a little bit better in a sense. I don't know, then I guess on future they could be okay and stuff. And then again, I guess an alternate version of the team that I was talking about, either you run Evolution Blue Vegeta or you run Trunks and Vegeta. Both can work equally fine, honestly. I don't, you know, I'll leave Trunks and Vegeta up there, but Tag 4 is also pretty damn good. Obviously GT isn't really like, it's a solid team, but it's also not like the absolute crazy. Now they do need a little bit of help. I know Vegeta Clan does need more help at this point still and stuff, but I don't know. I think Vegeta and Trunks are pretty damn good. Obviously, I don't know. I think this should be fine. If you can, they're interchangeable. I feel like whichever way you put them around, I feel like it's fine. Honestly, for me personally, I think I'm gonna put Trunks and Vegeta above Tag 4s, at least for me personally. I don't know. I think again, Tag 4s are definitely still good. The fact that they can just very easily just keep combos going and stuff. There's tag switch synergy between Goku and Vegeta and stuff. In terms of like, you know, you get a little combo started with Goku, then you swap in Vegeta, you get an extra long combo, then you're basically almost guaranteed to swap back into Goku to end the combo off the blue card, get your Vanish back, do some good damage, and then get more cards to just set up the next combo. That combo ability of theirs with their tag switches is so good. Their green cards are still very good and stuff. They're definitely good to you. And again, the fact that they're even off boost right now and they have a disadvantage versus like the strongest purple in the game being Ultra Gogeta Blue and stuff, like then when you tag switch Vegeta, there's like a couple good blues and stuff in the meta. Like they definitely still hold up pretty damn well, and they've definitely aged a lot better than I've initially thought they were initially gonna, or than I initially thought, I guess. I don't know, I kind of worded that a bit wrong, but you know what I mean. So regardless, I do think they are definitely top 10 worthy still to this day. Also, yeah, I forgot to put this guy. This guy I think is like honorable mentions worthy as well. He's like on the cusp of being on top 10, but like I think he's like slightly out of it as of right now, mainly just because I think I value GT17 over him as of right now because of this synergy with this unit right here. So there's that. Now the next unit, which is I guess going to be the number 7 unit on the tier list, I think the next 3 to 4 characters I pretty much have planned, mainly the next 3 characters from 7 I think through 5. You could definitely interchange them around, I feel like, but in terms of how I am going to specifically rank them, I think this is the order I'm going to go. So I think I'm going to put Zamasu at number 7, and then in terms of number 6, I think I'm actually going to put Beast Gohan. And then if I can, no, I need to put him up there. And then I think number 5, I'm actually gonna put Evolution Blue. Yes, I do think Evolution Blue is above Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan stuff is still very, very good. I still think, I think honestly, because in my last tier list, I did actually put 17 above Beast Gohan. I think over time, I've definitely wanted to swap things around, and I've definitely wanted to put Beast Gohan above 17 just because, yes, I know Beast Gohan's a blue character. Ultra Rose is pretty much like almost everywhere, and he's very common, he's very powerful and the strongest green in the game, but at least Beast Gohan in comparison to 17 can handle himself a little bit better just because he has his ways of going type neutral, which in that sense he can actually have a way of dealing with Ultra Rose. Again, you get his gauge built, you pop a green card, you go neutral. If you've stacked up enough damage by filling up his unique gauge, especially on the right team setup and stuff, he can definitely do a lot of damage and just get rid of Rose even by himself, to be honest. So at that point, I do think Beast Gohan is probably the best blue unit in the game as of right now. Well, I haven't ranked this unit, so clearly they're the best blue unit, but the second best unit. He's very, very good, and I still think even with Ultra Rose being ran around stuff, I still think he can hold his own to an extent, I'd say. So there's that. Zamasu, same thing. Ultra Rose is everywhere, but he does work pretty damn well with them and stuff. But I do think, even though, yes, his value on future is crazy good and stuff, and he definitely can put in work in terms of being a good defensive tank, and then also even offense-wise, it's definitely not bad for sure, and also just the utility provides to your team. I don't know if it's enough to really warrant putting him over these characters, and especially Evolution Blue. Again, like I mentioned, the team setup of specifically using GT17, the Tag Z duo, and Evolution Blue works really, really, really damn well, and it might even be Vegeta's best setup as of right now, to be honest. I don't know, Vegeta definitely cooks. I feel like Evolution Blue Vegeta is kind of an underrated unit right now. I feel like I don't really see him that often, but he's a very good unit. You do not want to sleep in Evolution Blue whatsoever. I'm actually kind of glad that I've actually discovered the setup with the Z Duo and GT17 stuff, because it's actually given me more of an opportunity to, I guess, use Evolution Blue, and he cooks. That man cooks for sure. He definitely is very, very good, so you do not want to underestimate him whatsoever. When he puts in work, even though, yes, I know people constantly bring up, like, oh, it takes 50 counts for him to get his card draw speed. It doesn't matter. Like, I know the card draw speed does help him. When he gets his card draw speed, he's a lot better, but even without the card draw speed early on, he still puts in a lot of work. He can do a lot of damage and stuff, so he's still quite capable even within the first 50 counts before he gets his card draw speed. And again, depending on the setup and stuff, he can do just fine without it. And then obviously, again, with the card draw speed, is even better. So I don't know, I think personally Evolution Blue Vegeta is number 5. I gotta stop talking so fast. Anyways, and then Beast Gohan is number 6, and then Zamasu is number 7 right there. Now, the number 4 option. I think this is finally where you can slot in the new unit right here, the Z Duo. I think genuinely is the number 4 best unit in the game. I think top 3, you could maybe make an argument for top 3, but I think 4 is a fine spot for them as of right now. Again, they're a very good unit for sure. I will say they are kind of star dependent for sure, and then at that point, obviously, they do require a bit of skill for sure in terms of being able to properly utilize the tag switch mechanic with them, in terms of using the standby mode, and then also doing the transcendent Kamehameha and stuff. That mechanic is just so powerful. Like, you can make an argument it's maybe the strongest mechanic in the game, but also the Mafuba, just because you can legitimately seal a character away and not deal with them for a good amount of time. It's one of the best mechanics in the game, regardless. It's literally a whole team wipe, and again, especially at higher stars and then on the right setup and stuff, they can definitely put in a lot of work. I feel like one of the main things, though, that holds them back from going any higher than 4, for me personally, I think is, again, they can be a little bit skill dependent, which is not necessarily the worst thing, but then also star dependent, and then also their teams. I think their teams, they're held back because of their teams. I feel like if they were strike based, they would have had a bit of an easier time to fit on certain teams, because for instance, Vegeta Clan at that point, you could run them alongside even this new Trunks. Tag 4s would be a very good option and stuff. I guess they wouldn't be able to synergize like Evolution Blue and all that, and like Trunks and Vegeta, but I don't know, I feel like for Vegeta Clan and like certain other teams, heck, even Sun Family to run alongside Beast Gohan if you want to, or Pan. I mean, you can still run them alongside Pan, but like regardless, like LF334 Goku, units like that, Future Gohan, like I feel like they would definitely, it feels like they should have been strike based, but they're blast based, which It's not the absolute worst thing, but I feel like it does hurt them a little bit with team options, so they can't really as easily slot on certain teams, and they're not like, there's not like a team that really just jumps out at you like, oh, that's the team I want to run them on, that they're a perfect fit for that team. I just don't feel that with this unit, at least me personally speaking. So again, the fact that I'm having to go out of my way to run a team setup using GT17 and then leader slotting him on Vegeta, Clan of Evolution Blue, and this Z duo kind of shows how like somewhat limited they are with teams. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, that's the whole point of the leader slot, to just kind of like build interesting teams and try different stuff out. And at that point, because of the leader slot update, it makes this unit a lot better. So in that sense, you definitely say the leader slot update is definitely a W in this sense, obviously, for actually helping out this character more so than hurting it in a sense. Or I don't know, regardless, you get what I mean. I don't know, Z-Du I do think is very good, but I don't think they come in comparison to the top 3, which I feel like is probably gonna be the exact same as the last tier list is gonna be Hit, freaking Ultra Rose, and then Ultra Gogeta Blue. I feel like the top 3 is still the same, it's solidified at this point. I don't think it's gonna be changing, at least until potentially the next unit we get, which I'm assuming the next thing we're gonna be getting is an Ultra for the ending of the Boo Saga celebration, which I will presume will be an Ultra Kid Boo. That's my guess as of right now, or some form of an Ultra Boo, Super Boo, Boo-Han, whatever it is, but my guess is Kid Boo, I guess. But this trio is just too good. I think, again, this top 3, you can interchange it however you want. I know there's people that think Hit's number 1. I can definitely see the argument for sure. You could put Hit number 1 if you want. You could put Rose number 1, Gogeta number 1. I think Gogeta's still number 1 for me personally, especially even using him a little bit lately. I just still think he's ridiculous beyond belief. Now having him at slightly higher stars than when I had him before. Now he's at least even stars with Rose. So now, you know, the argument is definitely more closer and stuff, and now Gogeta Blue definitely performs a lot better for me. So Gogeta, I think, is definitely very, very good for sure. And Rose obviously is just an absolute offensive powerhouse. And then Hit, obviously, you know, on the right setup, if you're on a powerful opponent and stuff, like he puts in a lot of work, and especially at higher stars, he's an absolute beast of a character. So again, you do not want to underestimate Hit whatsoever. So with that being said, I think this is this top 10 list. I guess in terms of some of the other units I haven't ranked, I guess Rev UI, let's just put all these other characters in honorable mentions. I don't know why I didn't put them there. I don't know, I just didn't want to fill up the honorable mentions too much. I guess I definitely need to remove some of these units for sure in the next tier list. That way there's not as many options and stuff, because I think there's too many options. We can't have that many characters in honorable mentions. I mean, we kind of can, but I don't know. Regardless, I think this is my finalized top 10. It's definitely an interesting one for sure, but I feel comfortable. I genuinely do feel comfortable with this, and again, I don't expect everyone to agree. That's completely fine. This is my personal list anyways. Again, it's all based on personal, you know, experiences and stuff. Again, maybe you think LF17 is still top 10, and if that's the case, that's completely fine with me. I just don't see it because, again, I can't really comment much on him because I don't have the character. I don't see much of him. I'm just going off of, you know, assumptions and stuff in terms like, okay, he's blue. He has disadvantage versus this unit right here. Like, his teams is not really as good as some of the other teams that these characters are on and stuff. Like, there's that. I don't know. It's just, as of right now, I think he's on the cusp of being in top 10, but, like, he's slightly out of it. I don't know. It's just, that's just my personal opinion. Again, these characters I need a little bit more time with. I also need to have them at higher stars in order to rank them better and stuff. But that's just me personally. And yeah, and also Ultra Super Vegito, I've tried a little bit off or with boost, but I need to try him more, so that might be maybe even my next video, potentially trying him on boost finally. So stay tuned for that, I guess. But that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. If you do, leave a like down below, so sub to the channel. We're going the road to 3,000 subs. And again, feel free to disagree or agree with this tier list. That's completely fine with me. And with that being said, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a great one, y'all.